two nations, one land, decades of conflict, India and Pakistan, neighbors born in blood, divided by faith, and haunted by history. This is the story of one of the most enduring rivalries in modern geopolitics, and the region that stands at the edge of war and peace, Kashmir. In 1947, the British Empire withdrew from the Indian subcontinent. What followed was the partition, a political and religious split that created two nations, India and Pakistan. The price? Over 1 million lives lost in communal violence and one of history's largest mass migrations. At the heart of the crisis was the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, a region with a Muslim majority but ruled by a Hindu king. Since their birth in 1947, India and Pakistan have fought 4 major wars, all of them directly or indirectly tied to a single point of contention: Kashmir. The first conflict broke out within months of independence. In October 1947, tribal militias from Pakistan invaded Kashmir, aiming to seize it by force. The Maharaja of Kashmir, under siege, turned to India for military assistance. In return, he signed the Instrument of Accession, formally joining India. Indian troops were airlifted in. War followed. By the time the United Nations brokered a ceasefire in 1949, Kashmir stood divided, with Pakistan controlling the northwest and India the rest. The dream of a peaceful resolution remained, but the seeds of prolonged hostility had already been sown. 2 decades later, conflict returned. In 1965, Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar, sending soldiers disguised as locals into Indian-administered Kashmir to stir an uprising. But the rebellion didn't materialize. India responded with full-scale military action, crossing into Pakistani territory. Fierce battles erupted in Punjab, in the air and on the ground. Thousands of lives were lost. Eventually, the Soviet Union and the United States stepped in. The war ended with the Tashkent Agreement, but the core issue, Kashmir, remained untouched. In 1971, war broke out again, but not over Kashmir. This time, it was about East Pakistan, where a brutal crackdown by the West Pakistani Army sparked a humanitarian catastrophe. Over 10 million refugees fled to India. India, led by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, intervened militarily in support of Bengali independence fighters. In just 13 days, Pakistan surrendered. A new nation was born, Bangladesh. Though Kashmir wasn't the cause, the defeat reshaped South Asia's balance of power and deepened bitterness between the two rivals. The last major conflict came in 1999 in the icy heights of Kargil. Pakistani soldiers and militants crossed the line of control, occupying high-altitude Indian posts. India launched a fierce counteroffensive to recapture the territory. It was a dangerous gamble. Both countries had become nuclear powers just the year before. With global pressure mounting, Pakistan pulled back. Though India won militarily, the war exposed the fragile trust and the risks of escalation. 4 wars, countless skirmishes, thousands of soldiers and civilians dead, and yet the question of Kashmir remains unanswered. It is not just a land dispute. It is a wound that refuses to heal, a mirror reflecting nationalism, identity, and unresolved trauma on both sides. Nestled in the Himalayas lies one of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. Kashmir. With its snow-capped peaks, serene lakes, and blooming gardens, it has long been called paradise on Earth. But behind the beauty lies a deep, unhealed wound. Since the partition of British India in 1947, Kashmir has remained at the center of a geopolitical tug-of-war. The region was divided between India, Pakistan, and later China, but claimed in full by both India and Pakistan. The Indian-administered side, known as Jammu and Kashmir, has seen decades of tension, violence, and distrust. In 1989, discontent turned into armed rebellion. Many young Kashmiris, alienated by political disenfranchisement and alleged election rigging, rose up. Pakistan was accused of supporting militants crossing the border. India responded with force. What followed was years of bloodshed. Thousands dead, disappearances, torture allegations, and a region in fear. Today, Indian-administered Kashmir is one of the most militarized zones in the world. With over 500,000 troops, daily life is often marked by checkpoints, ID checks, surveillance, and curfews. Schools close unexpectedly. Communication blackouts are common, and fear of both militants and security forces shadows everyday life. In August 2019, the Indian government revoked Article 370 of its constitution, removing Kashmir's semi-autonomous status. The region was split into two federally controlled territories. Internet was shut down for months. Thousands, including politicians and activists, were detained. India argued it was a step toward integration and development. Critics saw it as a betrayal of trust and a silencing of the people. Ask the people of Kashmir what they want, and you'll hear many voices. Some long for peace. Some demand autonomy. Some dream of independence. Others want to simply live without fear, without politics, without soldiers outside their homes. Generations have grown up in the shadow of conflict. Their future remains uncertain. In Kashmir, beauty and brutality live side by side. The snow still falls. The flowers still bloom. But behind every mountain and every mirror-like lake is a people struggling to be heard.
Subscribe for more history. Like the video to support us. Do it now.
Both India and Pakistan are now nuclear powers. This raises the stakes of any conflict to catastrophic levels. With cross-border attacks, diplomatic breakdowns, and rising nationalism, the region remains volatile and dangerously unpredictable. The past and present may be written in blood, but the future is still unwritten. As India and Pakistan look ahead, two paths lie before them: coexistence or catastrophe. There is hope. Youth in both countries speak the language of tech, music, and dreams, not war. People from Lahore to Delhi want jobs, education, connection, not conflict. Cultural exchange programs, art collaborations, and humanitarian initiatives have shown glimmers of possibility. If leaders dare to listen, peace could be more than a slogan. But the other road is dangerous. Both nations are nuclear powers, with vast arsenals and powerful militaries. Even a small spark, a miscalculation, could ignite disaster. And in Kashmir, tensions continue to simmer beneath the surface. And what of today? In recent months, cross-border strikes have returned. Reports speak of drone incursions, artillery exchanges, and increased troop deployments along the line of control. Civilians on both sides live in fear of the next escalation. Talks are stalled. Trust is broken. The question is no longer who was right. The question is, what future will we choose? War or peace?
Subscribe for more history. Like the video to support us. Do it now.
As of 2024, tensions between India and Pakistan remain unresolved, but controlled. Skirmishes still occur along the line of control, and both armies remain on alert. In Indian-administered Kashmir, the region is still under heavy military presence, with internet blackouts, detentions, and periodic unrest. Pakistan continues to raise the Kashmir issue on international platforms, while India insists it is an internal matter. Diplomatic engagement remains minimal, and public sentiment in both countries is increasingly nationalistic. Yet, behind the politics, ordinary people continue to hope for normalcy, trade, and connection. The conflict persists, but so does the desire for peace. This is not just a story of two nations. It's a story of pain and pride, of borders drawn in ink and soaked in blood. India and Pakistan share history, language, culture, and trauma. But must they always share conflict? Every generation has a choice: to repeat the past or to rewrite the future. Peace is not weakness. Peace is courage. And maybe, just maybe, it begins with listening, not to politicians, but to people. Because in the end, no land is worth more than a human life.
Subscribe for more history. Like the video to support us. Do it now.